Hello, so we come to the end of the week and to 1 John chapter 2, verse 15. So go ahead and see if you can translate this without any help. And here's my translation. Don't be loving the world, nor the things in the world. If someone should love the world, the love of the Father is not in him or her. Okay? So there's my translation of this. This is, I think, an important verse for me as a Christian. Certainly, it's a verse that I grew up with in the holiness tradition, hearing about not loving the world, and even though some of the things that were included in worldliness maybe weren't the heart of worldliness, I still very much see this verse as an important lesson, and one that many of us in the church need to hear, because it's so easy for us to be distracted by the world. And on Monday, Lord willing, verse 16, we get a little bit of an idea of what exactly John has in mind by love of the world. Well, let's break the translation down a little bit more. So do not be loving the world. Don't love the world nor the things in the world. So this is a prohibition. Now, this form here, which we'll look at on the next page in more detail, this form could be indicative, in which case it would say you are loving. But if that were the case, it would have the word "u" on the front. There are two words for not. There's "u" and there's "may." "U" is the word for not used with the indicative mood. And so if you wanted to say, you're not loving the world, then you would use "u." So the fact that "may" is here tells me that this form is imperative. Don't be loving the world, or possibly stop loving the world is another possibility. Although I'm not sure I see evidence in 1 John that the community to which he's writing loves the world that much. Certainly the group that left him maybe did. But this form it looks the same in the indicative and the imperative. The present active indicative, second person plural, and the present active imperative, second person plural, look exactly the same. And generally only context can tell you which it is. In this case, the "may" in the context tells me it's a command, a negative command or a prohibition. Don't be loving the world, nor, this is kind of the same, "uda" or "meda." "Meda" is used with non-indicative situations. So don't be loving the world nor the things in the world. This is a neuter plural alpha, bingo, and it doesn't have a noun to go with. We have to reach up our sleeves and pull out the substance, which is called a substantive use of it. And it's the substantive use of this prepositional phrase, as again, I'm getting ahead of myself. So we have to insert something there. We have to come up with a noun. We have to come up with the substance of a noun because it's not here. The things in the world. Okay, if, this is a condition, right? If someone, this is the indefinite pronoun. If it had an accent, it would be the interrogative pronoun. With the accent, it's like who. But without the accent, it's someone. Don't ask why, just memorize it. So if someone should love the world, more on this form on the next slide, not is the love of the Father in him. Okay, and her as well. Greek had to pick one of them, and the bias of the Greek language is masculine. So there's the translation in slow motion, or maybe not slow motion. Now for the grammar. I've already kind of told it to you. This is a prohibition. It's a negative command. There are two ways to make a prohibition in Greek. Well, there's more than that, but there are two main ways to make a prohibition in Greek. One is "may" with the present imperative. That's what we have here. You can also do "may" with the aorist subjunctive, which is not what's here. "May" with the aorist subjunctive is kind of like, just don't do it. "May" with the present imperative is either stop doing it or don't be doing it. That kind of a situation. And as I've already told you, this is the substantive use of a prepositional phrase. Ento cosmo is a prepositional phrase, and it's the in the world things. Okay, next line. I told you this is a condition. And as a conditional clause, or the protasis, with the on, it's subjunctive is coming. Subjunctive is coming. So agapa is subjunctive. Now, frankly, it may not look subjunctive. It doesn't look subjunctive. And the thing is, if this were indicative, the alpha would crash into this is third person singular. Let me go ahead and give the parsing. This is from agapao. The alpha, it's a contract verb, or it's a crash verb. It's a contract verb, and the police line says there's been a crash here. So the alpha has crashed into the ending. The ending that it's crashed into is either epsilon iota, indicative, A, or it's eta with a iota subscript hanging on for dear life, A. But what happens is with alphas and epsilons and with alphas and etas, whichever comes first wins. The alpha comes first. So whether it's crashing into an epsilon or whether it's crashing into an eta, it's going to end up in alpha. And the iota subscript is going to hang on for dear life after the crash. And so this form, in theory, could be either indicative or subjunctive. I know it's subjunctive. Why? Because subjunctive is coming. Subjunctive is coming. On demands a subjunctive. And so I know this is subjunctive. If someone should love, and it's present because all the letters are there, even though some of them have crashed, it's crashed with A, so it's active. It's subjunctive because it's eta with the iota subscript. Okay, so that's that weird form. If someone should love the world, the love of the Father, this is the nominative, he agape, as the nominative of the Father, that's genitive, is not in him. And so there you have it. I don't think I have any more on that page. I don't. Okay, so that brings us to our pronunciation to end this video. So see if you can pronounce the words. Pause, say it. Pause, say it. And so, me agapate ton kosmon, mede ta en to kosmo, ean tis agapa ton kosmon, uk estin he agape tu patros en auto. Or let me try to say it a little bit more like I was speaking Greek. Me agapate ton kosmon, mede ta ento kosmo. Ean tis agapa ton kosmon, uk estin he agape tu patros en auto. Oh, that wasn't so bad. Okay, well, have a great weekend, and Lord willing, we will see you with 1 John 2:16 on Monday, which is a great verse. It's going to tell us what the love of the world looks like.